Give you a wall just like this. It'll be a blank wall with boxes, junction boxes, a breaker box, and you'll begin doing what I'm doing. Now, you do not need to memorize what I'm going to show you today. You just need to be familiar. Do you want to get a stool so you can sit down?
Sure.
Okay, but I don't want you to pass out or something because you're standing up. Okay. You don't need to memorize what you're doing, but you need to be familiar with the tools I use, where the supplies are at, where the wire's at, different things. And if you get confused, which you will because you won't memorize it, I've got 2 or 3 ways for you to recall how to do it. One, there's step-by-step pictures over there on the wall. You just walk over there and look, and then you remember, oh, that's what I do next. Or if you don't remember how to do something or where the wires go, which screw to put it on, there's a model wall right there. You copy that model wall, okay? You also have your neighbors who know what they're doing. Because you're not paying attention, maybe they were today, you just look at them. It's like copying someone's homework. So you can copy that, or just copy the guy who's working next to you who's paying attention. Plus, you'll have a partner. So if you two are partners, you could ask each other questions. So you will be successful at this. You will be able to do this, although it will be new. Now, the first most important rule is this is going to be like real. This is not like fake wall construction or electrical wiring. This is real. You will never ever plug this wire in. You see this cord right here? This will plug into an outlet, and I will plug it into an outlet, this one, when I get done with it today. But you cannot ever plug it in or plug anybody else's in, because you could hurt them, you could kill them, you could burn them, all kinds of things could go wrong. But it is not funny. And if something like that would happen, of course, we'd have to have severe consequences. We can't have that happen. So, never plug this in, please.
Has someone plugged it in before?
No, they have not. No one's been.
Besides you.
No, I will plug it in and I'll test it. Now, right here, these C-clamps are up there on the wall. You're going to get a wall tomorrow, you or one of your partner, and then you're going to take and clamp this to the table. I'd like to have you clamp the 2x4, not just the plywood base, but the 2x4 to the table so that it's secure, because we're going to be doing some pulling on it. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we need to run wire. You can see the wires located here and there. You can use both locations. It's going to be the busiest spot at the beginning. Everybody's going to be going here to get their wire. So try to get through there as quick as you can. The piece of wire will go, as you see, there's 3 pieces of wire on it. You see the little yellow tabs? 1, 2, 3, those are 3 pieces of wire you'll need. You see the numbers on the wire tabs right there? See how long they are? Like 30, that's 30 inches. That's where those wires go. The numbers that you need are right there on that wall. 30, 26, 20. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you come up here, this wire right here, try not to hit your head on this. You're going to take some wire off of this. If you need to take a tape measure, you and your partner, and measure off roughly 30 inches. You're going to need, that's about 30 inches right there is 30 inches. You can just hold it and then cut it, or you can take the Sharpies that are located right here, make a mark on it, and then you're going to cut it. The best way to cut it is going to be this right here, this tool right here. Okay? Would you stop that from swinging? This is the best tool to use right here. Because all you got to do is come in here like this and cut it. Now, when you cut this, this is going to spring back. So make sure you hold this so it doesn't slap somebody in the face. In fact, tomorrow I would like to have you put goggles on while you're doing this. Because if someone else is not paying attention, they'll slap over you upside the head and take your eye out. So please take this right here, hang on to this, and cut it with this, and then you just squeeze it. That's the easiest way of doing it. There's only one of these, because this is the only time we'll use it. You pick it up for me, please. Now, the next size I need is what? Is the next size I need?
26.
How did you guys know that?
Because it's on there.
Says it there, it's labeled over there. So this is 26. Now, if you don't want to mark it, you don't have to mark it. You and your partner can just take and mark it with your fingers like this. I'll show you another way of cutting it. You do have these cutters. You've used these when we were doing the soldering unit, side cutters. Now, you can just muscle up and cut right through it, like that. Excuse me, you can do that for me too. I can do that. But you also need a 20-inch piece. So you're going to come in here 20 inches. If you can't, because I've only got one of those big cutters, there's 3 wires in there. You could do this if you need to. 1, kind of chew through them. 2, and 3. And then you can do that also. Hold that for me. When you get done cutting, I'd like to have you take this. There's one hole open here without a marker. Put it back in that hole. Bend it underneath there so it stays and doesn't. Now, when we were wiring houses, building houses at different places, and then we come through and do the residential wiring, this is what we do in the living room, or maybe the main floor of the house upstairs wherever we were working. We would hang one of these from the ceiling and just pull wire off it, and it's called pulling wire. And you'd run the wire all through the outlets. Here's what you'll do then. You're going to start with the breaker box. You know what a breaker box is?
Yes.
It's the breaker box. Do we have a breaker box in this room? Do you know anything about it?
I know where it is.
Where is it?
It's
Over there by the
Right
Right by the goggle
on the
wrap. You
left.
open that up, there's like 75 breakers in there. Okay? Shuts off power different places here within this part of the building. Where's your breaker at your house? Your
Mine's
breaker
my
box.
basement.
Basement? Garage? Sometimes they're in a closet somewhere. But you know where your breaker box is at?
Yeah.
If you open it up, you'll see breakers in it. This is just a small breaker box. It's got room for 2 lines of power. 1, 2. And coming off that, I'm just running this short little wall off one breaker. First thing we'll do is I'll take the wire, I'll take the 30-inch piece of wire. Now, are you confused yet?
No.
Because if you are confused, you just walk over to the wall and see this is what I'm supposed to do next. But I don't know how to, where's that piece at? You walk over here, look at the model wall. You just copy that. Plus, you're having this fantastic instructional episode right here for you to learn by. And it's going to be videotaped. Plus, you're having this fantastic instructional episode right here for you to learn by. And it's going to be videotaped. I'm going to insert this right here into this breaker box going through this, what is called a wire clamp right here. It's going to clamp right there. You want to make sure this is plenty long because this has to go into the bottom of the breaker. So you can see how long it needs to be by looking over there. Then it's going to go in the back of the box right here. This goes in the back of this box right here. This is going to run power from the breaker box over to this, which as you can see right there is going to become an outlet right here. An outlet is going to go right here. The next one, please, is the, what is this one? It's a 26. This one's going to go through the wall. Remember, when you build a wall, you got sheetrock on this side and this side, like on that wall there. The wires run inside the walls like this. So inside that wall is wires coming down for the clock, coming down to that. See that outlet? That's not just a magic box in the wall. There's wires coming down to that from up here. If you look up in the ceiling, there's wires going to all those lights, but you don't see wires because they're not in a wall there. There's no wall or ceiling up there. There's just an open area. So they're in what we call conduit. See those 3 pipes coming out of the wall, those 3 up there? That's conduit. That's got wire running in it over to the lights. Those aren't water pipes. Those are wire pipes called conduit. Also going up the wall. See the silver going up the wall? Those are wires coming. And see it's going up and it's going that way. Where do you think those wires are going to? They're going over there and down into the breaker box. Here, we're going through the wall. There's holes drilled in this. So I'm going to run this wire in here. I'm going to put this over here and put this into this box right here. You see that? Like that. And then this is going to go in the back of this box. Now, this is going to become the light. Now, there's one thing, besides the fact that this is a very short wall. It should be like 8 foot tall. This box right here is where I'm going to put my light plate. Now, do you see what's wrong with that in the real world? What?
It's too long.
One, there's no lights. Second, the lights aren't going.
No. What's wrong with the location? There's wire here. It's going to come on. It's inside the wall. You see, there's sheetrock here, and my light is inside the wall. Okay, I did that for my model. What I should have is a piece of plywood coming off here, or a piece of wood coming off here, and the light being mounted here, and then the wire coming in. But for the sake of my model, I did this, if that's okay. Okay, same with yours. My next wire, please. This is going to run power over to the breaker, or from the breaker to the outlet. From the outlet, it's going to jump over here to come to the light. And then from here, I've got to have a switch on my light so my light can be switched off. And I'm going to run this up here, like in here, like that. And some of you can see that. Some of you cannot. And if you need help tomorrow, I can help you. Are you getting anything on videotape here, or is it just the back of my head?
Well, it keeps going like this.
What's that? It's saying the battery's dead. So it's not working.
It was for a little bit, and then it did this.
Okay,
Just
very
now.
good. Is yours still working?
It's at low battery.
You can see me?
so-
Are you getting any of this stuff here? The action?
Yeah.
All right. You can, I'll take that and put it in my pocket. Thank you very much. Is there still battery?
Yeah. I thought the recording button was low battery.
No, that red light's supposed to be. Okay, I've got my wire run. The wire's run. Do you see what I've done? The next thing I'd like to have you do is you're going to need to get a screwdriver. There's flat and Phillips drivers. These are in the tool cabinet. You know this from last year. The other tools, these cutters, the needle nose, the wire strippers, these are all going to be in this drawer, which is going to be sitting right there by that speaker. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is so you can get your stuff out of there and put them away at the end of the day. I'm going to go through this with a Phillips. I'm going to lock these wire clamps down so the wire does not move in the wall. Because you do not want wires moving in the wall, rattling you loose, because if wires come loose, you could have a spark. And if there's a spark between wires, have you ever got a shock from somebody and seen a little spot, a little bolt of lightning, a little small bolt flash of lightning? Or you've ever seen a spark from a light switch or something like this? That can be a problem because that could start a fire. So when you put these wires together, you want all the wire connections to be very tight, secure, and not to rattle loose over time. Otherwise you could have what we call an electrical fire. And it would start to break out inside the wall a little bit, burning something if it's dust or whatever's in the wall. And it might burn for a couple hours and burning the wood before it breaks through the sheetrock. Then your carpet is on fire, and then the curtains, and boom, the whole house goes up. So something could be burning in a wall for a period of time and not even know there's a fire. Okay, my wires are locked in now. I need to get rid of the sheathing. That's the white part right here. And I'm going to use what is called a sheathing stripper. See this right here? There's a tooth right there on the end of it. See right inside there? There's a tooth.
Yeah.
Right there. Put your finger in there. No, don't. Because there's a little tooth right there. You see this? Watch. I'm going to slide the sheathing stripper up here like this. You're going to take the tooth, press it into the sheathing, and then do this. Are you getting this on video? Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to peel the sheathing back. I'm going to take, and there's a black wire. You see the black wire?
Yeah.
There's a white wire right here. And then there's a copper wire wrapped in paper. So there's 3 wires in here. We're going to bend those down so they don't poke you in the face. And then I'm going to take a side cutter right here and cut that stuff off, and this goes in the trash can. Hand that to someone to put in the trash can. So there's 3 wires in here. I do want you to understand this. This copper wire is 14 gauge. There could be 12 gauges, another one that's used in most homes, but 14 gauge is also used. That's how thick it is. 12 is a little thicker. But these are also 14 gauge, same exact wire. This has just got white plastic on it, or white insulation. This has got black insulation, so you know when you get over here which wire is connected over here. So they're all 3 the same wire. This has no insulation, this has black insulation, this has white insulation. Are you with me on this? Mm-hmm. We're going to come back to that in a moment. I'm going to go through with the sheathing stripper and take off, put a cut on all the sheathing. You'll be doing the same thing. There are several of these in the drawer, so when you get this far, you can get started on this. So hopefully some people get this started tomorrow and are actually cutting the sheathing off. It will be a fun day tomorrow, not like today, which is boring and never ending because I'm going to talk forever. Open this up, pull the insulation or the sheathing back, separate the paper off the ground, and do that for each one of these. And again, if you were an electrician, this is one of the things that you would be doing. You'd be going through each of this step by step and just repeating this over and over again for all the outlets, all the lights, all the switches. You're doing a good job of listening. I appreciate the attention, because the quicker I get through this, the quicker you get started. I hope the video is working, because if it's not, I've got to do the demonstration again tomorrow, and that would be really sad if we had to do it all again tomorrow just for the videotape. I'm cutting this off now. Make sure you don't cut off one of your wires. I've done that before, working on a house one time. Ran a wire and then cut it, and I ended up cutting off with the black wire, so I had to pull the wire out of the wall and do it again. So be careful you get just the paper and the sheathing. So now I've got the wires all opened up. Hold this or hand that to somebody, throw it in the trash can. Now, you say, I don't remember, I'll forget how to do this. Well, what do? You look at the wall. What's the next step? You go over here. Now my next step is to open up these wires, getting rid of the insulation. So as I've got right here, I've got a wire strippers right here. And I want you to see this right here. You see those holes. You see the numbers on the holes. Those are different size holes. You see the kind of like drill bit holes or something like that? Like a drill gauge. Here we go. See right there the different numbers on the hole, possibly. Now, what number do you think I'm going to use?
14.
Why 14? Because this is 14 gauge wire. So I find the 14 on here. There's a 12, there's a 14. I find the 14. I put it right here on the ground. See, it's on the ground right here where there's no insulation. See this? It just slides like this. See, there's no connection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to the black, and I'm going to come right here on the end, about 3/4 inch, put it on the 14, and crimp it like this. Hear that? Twist it, and then pop this off right there. That's about how much wire you want to open up. So you got to open that up because you got to put that onto a screw. I'm making connections. Put this on 14, crimp it, twist it, pop it off. Now what you don't want to do, this is too much. You see this right here? Don't be doing this, children, right? Don't do this. This is way too much wire. You see that? You want about this much wire, about 3/4 inch. So this wire, I'm going to have to take this right here and cut this off. About like that. Now I'm going to do that to each of the wires. Go to 14, crimp it, twist it, pop it. Do that to each one of these. 3/4 inch. Now there's several of these wire strippers you can grab in the drawer. There's some red ones. There's a couple more yellow ones. But you're going to be using the 14 gauge hole. If you use the 12 gauge hole, it's not going to do anything because it's going to be too big. If you use the 16 gauge hole, it's going to be too small. And it's going to end up cutting the wire. There's 14. Okay, I'm hurrying here. Trying not to bore the students. Are you bored?
No.
I appreciate that. I appreciate, yep. Some are being kind. Some people are being brutally honest. No, that's fine. No, honestly, you can't get mad at a student for being honest. It's like, that's just... Which I can get mad at a student for is not paying attention. Is that a hand in the air because you got a question?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting with my back to you. Get this on camera. I'm sitting here like this. Can you see me on the camera? And you see the child raising his hand. It's like, yes, you behind me, with your hand there. What? Yes, you have a question. Go ahead.
Do you make the wall for us?
Oh, good question. I've got these stacked up back there.
Oh, okay.
And I'll give you the wall just like this. You'll have a wall just like this. You won't have to, though, in fact, the breaker, everything will be just like it was when I started.
Okay.
And you will have a partner. You and a partner will do this. Okay, now these wires are stripped. If you notice right here, all the ends of the wires are open. And so we begin the process. Are you okay?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I boring you?
No. It's hard to see because Asian's like this.
Okay. Would you scoot over just a little bit? So let him sit right there. This is perfect. Come up here, join us. And you're not in trouble, I'm just helping you. This is a very difficult situation. Wait until I start doing computer demonstrations. And I'm going to sit with the computer screen. You're going to be looking over my head for the demonstration. All right. Now, here we go. We got to get started. We got to move quickly. When do we get out of school today?
15.
Okay, just like every day, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's every day.
So here we go with the breaker. The breaker is going to be right here. Now let's pretend, just kind of talk through this. If I plug this into the wall or the outlet, which I do not want to do, we're going to have power come down the black wire. You see there's 3 wires here, black, white, and ground. It comes up through here, and you see there's 3 plugs right there.
Yes.
2 flat and then the round. And there's 3 holes. Because this is the ground, this is black, and this is the white. We put it in there. Current's going to come out. That's hot, as you know. Current's going to come out of there, go in on the black wire, like this. And when I plug that in, this wire, or not this wire here, but where that black wire comes out and touches the junction box right here, if I were to touch that, that would be hot right there. That's why we don't want to plug it in. When I put this breaker on here, you can see right here, there's a little sandwich right there. I'm not sure if you can see right in there. There's a little 2 metal plates right there, and there's a little post right here. I'm going to clip this on the bottom, and you may want to watch this because you got to remember how to do this. I can help you later. And you're going to slide this over just like that. Boom, slide that over that metal plate. And now when I turn this breaker on, the breaker is going to send that current from that post through the breaker down onto this screw right here. It's going to go through the breaker onto this screw. So what I'm going to want to do is I want to take my black wire. I need my Phillips screwdriver. I'm going to use my flat driver. I'm going to take this, slide this in here underneath that screw. All I do right here, I'm going to take that screw and pinch it down. I'm not going to do any hooking at all. I'm going to put it in here and pinch it down just like this. And I tighten this down right here, and that is snug right there. So now that's on. You can check it like this. You kind of pull on it, make sure it stays tight like that so it doesn't come off. Hook this right here, slide it on the post. Now, theoretically, this is plug in. It is never plugged in. It's not plugged in now, but if it was, current would come down that black wire. It'd hit that post right there. It'd go through the breaker when I turn it on and touch the screw here and go up on this black wire. Now, for those of you that are paying attention, if this was real and I had turned this on, power came through and made contact with this black wire, where's it going in the wall right now? Is this wire hot? Is this wire hot?
No, it's that one.
This wire is not hot because this wire is over here by itself. Which one's hot?
That one.
This one?
No, the black.
This one right here. Is this black wire hot?
No.
Because this wire and this wire are the same. If this wire was hot here, you're going right here, right there, it's also hot. Do you understand that at all? It's simple, really, right? You got that? Again, if you don't understand this, don't panic. It's not a big deal. We're just having fun playing with wire and electricity. All right. Now, we're going to put an outlet over here. If I want this outlet to get hot so I can plug in a fan or a hair dryer or something, I want to have the power going to this black wire. Now, as we look at this, I want you to notice there's 2 silver screws there, and there's 2 brass screws here. It's hard to see the brass because it's been used, it's kind of been worn off. Those are darker. There's brass, and those are silver screws right there. Then there's 1 green screw. That's for the ground right down here. Now, to help you out, think of silver being light and brass being dark. That means the dark wire, black wire, is going to go to the dark screw, which is the brass screw. The white wire is going to go to the light screw, which is the silver screw. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. And then, of course, the ground is going to be the ground wire. The green screw is going to be the ground wire. All right, so how do I hook that on that screw? Here's what you'll need to do. You will need to use,
Needle nose.
thank you, a needle nose right here. You're familiar with this. So what you're going to do is take your black wire and you're going to hook it like this. Now this will be difficult for you. Some of you are going to do terrible jobs of this, but here's how this works. Just a little hook about like that. See that right there? Not a hook like this, like a candy cane or something. Just a little hook like that. And I'm going to take this outlet. Which screw does this go on?
The brass.
It goes on one of the brass screws. If you'll notice, there's 2 brass screws and they're connected by a plate. So you could use either one of them in this demonstration. They're both going to be hot and they're going to send the current. If I touch this one's also going to be hot. Not the white or the silver ones. Okay, I'm going to put this on here like this. I'm going to hook it underneath the screw. I'm going to take my Phillips driver and tighten it down. Now notice which way I'm turning the screw. This way. Now this is important, and I'm going to explain to you next time. When I turn it this way, I'm putting pressure on it, making it tight this way. I want my wire to be hooking the same way I'm turning. I don't want my wire hooked this way around the screw while I'm turning the screw this way. Because what can happen is as I turn the screw and tighten it down, it can smash the wire off. I want it hooked this way, so when I tighten it down, it pulls the wire around the screw. Now ideally, again, we're not going to be doing this for inspection, but if you're going to do this right, the bare wire has to be under the screw, and it's got to be the insulation comes right up to it. There can't be any bare wire hanging out here. All right, let's go ahead and do the white wire the same way. Here I do the white wire. Who stole my needle nose?
Where'd you put them?
Right here. All right, I'm going to hook the white wire, and the white wire is going to go on the silver screw. Now notice right here, I'm going to show you this one more time, and if you get it, good. If you don't worry about it. But I'm going to take this I'm backing it out, and I'm going to tighten it up this way. So which way should I put the screw? Or the hook? I should put the hook this way, so it's going like that. So when I start turning it, I'm turning it the same way that the hook is pointing. And that way it will kind of tighten it up. Okay, now, if I were to turn this on right now, boom, it goes through the black wire, comes over here, and lights this up. If I had a fan, it would start to run. A hairdryer, it would start to work. But I want to take this power and send it over here to this light. So I'm going to take this black and white wire, and I'm going to send the power down the line. I'm hooking the white, I'm hooking the black. Are you still with me?
Yes.
Do you think you can do this tomorrow?
Yes.
I mean, you think at least get started? I mean, okay. You think you can clamp your wall to the table? Yes. That'd be a great job. Okay. Now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go to the brass wire, or the brass screw right here that's cutting this one. I'm going to hook the black wire here. Now, does anybody know where this black wire is going to go now?
To the other black wire.
Yep, where the light's going to go. I'm putting the black wire here, and the white wire is going to go on the other screw, on the silver screw over there. Make sure they're tight so they don't rattle off. Hook this the same way underneath that silver screw. There it is. Nice job. Okay, I need someone to, is there a box underneath that? Right there. Would you walk over there and grab that box? Reach in there and grab a piece of wire, please. That's where the extra wire's at. Because I have a situation here. Is there wire in that box? Just bring me one piece, please. Thank you. Look right here. This is scrap wire right here. Do you see this? Stop talking and listen, please. I need to take this. I have a situation. If you notice, I've got 2 black wires and 2 screws for the black wire. I've got 2 screws and 2 white wires for the 2 silver screws. But I have 1 green screw for the ground. You see, just 1. But I've got 2 ground wires. You cannot put 2 wires on 1 screw. It's against code. It's not safe. It's not a good way of doing it. So what you need to do is you need to, what we call, make a pigtail. Or I'm going to show you several things here. Right here. You see, this is wire that's been used already. The kids have taken it off. I'm going to first cut this right here. So I've got clean ends. I'm going to grab this insulation or the sheathing and pull it off like this. Watch carefully. See this? Whoosh, pulled it off. Yep. And then I don't need the white or black wire. Throw that in the trash. But what I do need is this. I need the ground. Boom. The ground wire. I'm going to make it about this long. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little math. I've got 2 screws, or 2 wires, with only 1 screw. These are called wire nuts. See this?
Yeah.
It's a wire nut. Hold this. Pass that around. These are not candy. It's not something, it's not a breath mint. Do not confuse this. If you're not paying attention, pay attention now. I'm not giving you candy. Do not put this in your mouth. If you're just tuning in.
So it's candy?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Happy Halloween. Trick or treat.
Yep.
Now, look inside that cone. You look inside there, you can see there's a little cone in there with threads. And what this is going to do is this right here. I'm going to take this wire nut, this wire nut, and this extra wire. I'm going to do a little math. I've only got 1 screw, I've got 2 wires. So by taking this extra wire and putting it here, I take 1, make sure they're straight and they're the same length. 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals what?
3.
No. Watch. 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 1 right there. I've made a pigtail. 1 plus 1 plus 1. And what I've done is I've taken this. You see how I tighten this down right here? Those wings are on there for you. See right there? I twisted it together. Those wings are on there for you to get a nice grip. Make sure the wires are the same length. They're straight. Make sure they work them in. And then twist this on here tight. So when you take it off, it should be wrapped up something like this. See how that's wrapped up? It's nice and tight. You've made 1 wire out of the 3. And now what do I do with this extra wire that's over here? This is what I hook right here. Boom, I hook it. And I can put this on the ground. Are you still with me?
Yes.
That's called the pigtail. You need to do that so you can have 1 wire on this screw right here. Okay, the ground. This is basically done right here. This one is done. Right now I'm going to push the ground wire in the back of the box. I'm going to put this right here. You don't need to screw it in right there, but that's the way that would go. And then we put a plate over it and it looked just like the one on the wall. Does that look familiar?
Yeah.
And then the sheetrock would come around this. You'd never see the wires. Now we're coming over here. I'm going to turn the power on, but it's not plugged in. But if I turn the power on, it's going to go through this black, come over here, light up my fan, jump across to the other screw, and come over here and make this hot. So this is hot now, right now. This is the wire I'm looking at. I'm going to put a light right here on this junction box. Do you see this? Now, do I want to put this power right on this right here? See now right here, you can see there's 2 screws, 2 brass, 2 silver. The power is going to go to the dark. And the neutral, the white is going to go to the silver. So black is going to go here. Understand, if I run power to this, I have to put my black on one and white on the other. When I turn this on, the outlet's coming on, and my light bulb's coming on. But there's a problem with that. Assume this is in your bedroom. And you come home from school like you normally do. You get done with whatever you do after school, your extra school activities. And of course you come home, you eat supper. After supper, you start doing some homework. You spend about an hour doing homework, and now it's 8 o'clock, time for bed. You get into bed, and of course you need to do some reading. So you spend about half an hour, 45 minutes reading through all the homework that was covered during school that day. If it be like history or geography, maybe reviewing your English or something. And now it's time for you to go to sleep. It's about 8:30. So you want to shut the light off. If this was the scenario, where would I go in your house to shut the light off? The breaker box. You'd go out to the garage. You'd get out of bed, walk down the house, go out to the garage, shut it off. Or you'd go down into the basement, find the breaker, shut it off. But when you shut off the breaker, you're also shutting off your outlet. Your clock goes off, your fan doesn't work, your light bulb, plus now it's dark and you walk back into a dark bedroom and try and find your bed. Black wire. I'm going to take a wire nut. Remember the wire nut?
Yeah.
You're going to take the 2 black wires right here like this. Are you still with me?
Yeah.
Put it right here and twist it on tight. Make sure, I had kids forget to take the insulation off and they wire together 2 insulated wires and then my wall doesn't work. Why? Because there's no copper connection here. You got to make sure there's wire. Now, when I turn this on, goes through the breaker, goes up to here. Where does it go now?
To the black wires.
This black wire and jumps down. Where's it come out? Where's the end light? Right here. This is hot. Do you see this right here?
Yes.
What do you think I'm going to put on this?
A light switch.
A light switch. I'm going to hook all 3 of these. Hook the black, hook the white, hook the ground. And I'm going to grab a light switch right here. It's a 2-way light switch. On, off right here. And I've got 3 screws. A green ground, 2 right here. There's no color to them. It doesn't matter. So all I'm going to do is right here, I'm going to hold this right here. It's nice to have the off on the top side. I'm going to take, for example, the black, which has got the power going to it. Hook it right there. And where's my screwdriver? Tighten this up right here. Could you pay attention, please? You've got prime real estate here. Some kids would really like to be sitting there.
It's free real estate.
What am I advising in this class?
Right here. Yes, sir, you have a question?
Is that when is the light switch, like when it's
Do not worry about this box. You see this box right here? This is for when this is all done. See, there's not one over there. This is for step 2. For those of you that get done with this ahead of time, I'll show you how to do a 3-way switch. Would you go stand by that light switch there? Would you go stand by that light switch there? A 3-way switch is this. This is a 2-way switch. I'm putting a 2-way switch on right here. I've got the white and black, and now the ground goes right here like this. You see this? And now that's going to turn the power on and off for where my light plate is going to go. This is going to be like this. This is off. That's on. The power comes through right here. It's always going to be sitting right there, but when I've got the off on, it's going to stop there. When I turn it on, it's going to jump through here, the switch, come back up on the white wire, and this white wire is going to go to the light plate. Now that's a 2-way switch, on, off. You know what a 3-way switch is? Right here. You've seen these, you've got in your house. Turn that off right there on the front. Turn it on by the back. See that? That's a 3-way switch right there.
I have that in my kitchen.
Right. You got them at the top of stairs, bottom of stairs. You turn lights on and off like that. That's what we'll do here. When you get this done, if you get this done, we'll take this off. I'll show you how to run 14 3-wire. This is 14 2-wire. It's 14 gauge with a black and a white 2 wires plus a ground. I'll give you 14 3, which is black and white and red plus a ground to run from this box to this box and give you 2 different switches. You have to turn your light off on 2 different places. It's a little more complicated, but it's fun to try. This is done. Black, white, when I turn this on. Now I go to my light plate right here. Are you still with me? I'm down to the last few moments. Here I go. Come on back. I'm hooking the whites right here. I'm hooking the whites right here. I'm putting them on the light plate. I'm putting on the brass right here. Stay with me. We were at the 7-minute mark. Is that right? Yeah. You guys have done great. This is a very painful class. This is the most painful class of the year until we start doing some of my computer demonstration. No. I mean, in my class. Quiet, please. We're on video, please. I'm a painful teacher. No. Yes.
nothing compared to her.
I frighten the children.
Well, this is fun.
Okay, quiet. I'm going to have to cut this all out of the video. Don't be talking like that. Okay, watch. Right here. See this? I'm putting the light bulb in. What I did, I put the black. The power is going to go up here. They're both white, but the power goes to the brass. I once again have to do this. I've got to make a pigtail here quickly. I've got to take this out right here. On the back of the box, I've got to take my ground out here because this was left over from last time. I've got a new ground here. I'm going to take another wire nut. Do we have wire nuts in our hands? Continue in church, we're taking it off and pass the bucket around and collect the offering there.
Here.
Okay, now hey, if you're watching this, are you watching me, please? I'm putting together another pigtail for the ground. I've got 2 ground wires. I need to pigtail this ground. Are you still listening, please?
Yes.
I don't want to have to do this again tomorrow, which I'm not going to. I'm going to cut this so I get a nice clean end. I'm going to put a hook on this and put it behind the screw. Notice this. This is going to, if you're still with me, this is going in the back of the box. I'm grounding this to the back of the box. Where's my flat driver? There's the back of the box. All right. There it is. That's pinned down there. Light bulb is in. Everything's good. I have one more thing to do over here. I've got all the power that's coming back here is coming back on this white wire. I've got to send it back into here. So I've got a neutral bar right here. See the neutral bar right there?
Yes.
You're going to take the ground and the white wire, the neutral wire, and put it behind a screw here and then pin it against the neutral bar in the back there. They're both going to go in the same, it's the same bar. All these screws are the same. That should be good. I'm going to take the ground and put this in here and the same neutral bar. You cannot see this possibly, but understand there's a picture of it over there showing you when to do this, and there's also a model wall right there having it done for you. You just copy it. And I've just completed this wall. Now, I'm going to take a tester and put it in this right here. The tester, if I do it right, there'll be 2 yellow lights will come on. These 2 yellow lights will come on. If I do it wrong, this red light will come on, or only one yellow light will come on, but I should get 2 yellow lights. I'm putting this right here. My light bulb is on. I'm shutting my light off. Now, could we have someone go over there again, shut that light off, please? It's more dramatic if it's dark. Now, let me look at this quickly. My breaker is in here. That's off. My ground and white is here. This looks good. Make sure no wires are connected or touching anything. We're down to about 4 minutes of time. Okay, now, when this happens, when you get done with your wall, and some of you will get done, today is what, Wednesday?
Yeah.
So some of you will be done Friday sometime, okay? There's a chance you could get done tomorrow. Some people have gotten done in one day. Because you can do it if you're not talking the entire time, answering ridiculous questions from the students like I have to do. But when you get this far, you get me and I will plug it in. You will never plug it in. And when it is plugged in, you're standing back. I'm the only one that switches buttons on and off. Don't grab them and get buzzed. Mr. Reeves, what about this one? And get the, don't touch anything. Okay, you just stand back and don't be clowning around. Please, not be clowning around. And right now is a good time not to clown around. I'm going to plug this in. The breaker's off. The switch is off. Here we go. And again, this could be the most embarrassing moment of my day if it doesn't work. So here we go. I'm plugging it in. There's now power in the box. Right now, nothing happened, but power is going through that black wire and is sitting right there on that post. When I flip this up, it's going to release power through this black wire, and I should get 2 yellow lights right here coming through the outlet. That's going to send power over to the box right here. Skip this box, and it's coming to stop right here. So it's going to go up through here and stop right there until I turn the switch on right there. So here we go. There's power in the box right now. Now I'm going to release that power through the system. Ready? Here it is. Should get 2 yellow lights. Well, I hope I get 2 yellow lights. Bam! There it is. All right, now the power's gone from here. It's gone all the way through here, over here. It went through this wire nut right here, and it's sitting right there. If I touch that white screw, nothing would happen. I touch the black screw right here. Bzz, there's power right there. I'm going to release it through the switch up to the light bulb. Now I hope this works, and I hope the light bulb comes on. Ready? Bam! Yeah. There it is. Now I can shut it off right here. Turn it on right here.
My lights aren't that bright at home.
Now, I could go out to the garage. I could go out. Watch this. I could go out to the garage and shut it off on the breaker box, and the whole thing comes on, or the whole thing comes off. Right there it is. Okay, can I have the light turned back on? Step back there, please. So we get it. So over there in video. Okay, I'm unplugging it. It is now safe. There's no longer any current here. Now, does anybody have any questions? Yeah. Okay, tomorrow when you come in, one of your partners is going to go back there. I'll give you a wall. One of you guys get a clamp. You'll clamp it down and you'll start cutting wire. How long are your wires? 30, 26, and 20. And you'll start running wire. Okay, you guys leave the stools there. Get down very carefully. Thank you.